You might be concerned with the large, scary man looking at you right now. Don't be alarmed too much. He's just telling you to play the Sega Saturn. Which is exactly what we're going to do because people voted to play the Sega Saturn. And I'm going to start this off with something fun. Like with something real fun. I think we'll be getting here in a little bit. Hey, Fresno! It's Fresno. How's it going, Fresno? Hey, it's Sega Saturn. You know the man who tells us to play the Sega Saturn. And now his son is telling us to play Sega, which is amazing. I'm going to give a little bit more here before I begin. I've changed my entire setup so I can quickly get the Saturn. We're going to do this grab bag style, but if you have any requests, if I haven't, I could play it. But I'm not going to go for too long. Shining the Holy Ark, that's actually not in my pile right now. I can get that real quick if you want me to. I actually wasn't planning on Shining the Holy Ark, but I might show that off a little bit. I don't know if I have a save file ready for that right now, though. We'll see. I had to change my Saturn battery, and, things happen. So I'm gonna go pick that up real quick. Give me 1 second. Ooh, I'm dropping frames. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back then. Alright, I got it. I have Shining the Holy Ark since Frez requested it. I will go ahead and do that one. Alright. And I'm not going to go for too long tonight because Polly's going to be playing Higurashi, and I'm going to go check that out again. We're in the third arc. It's so good so far. Oh, it's so good so far. Anyway, I will go ahead and get started here, I think. And we're going to start with a fun one. First off, there's Chorus. Say hi to Chorus. She's going to take a nap on her slime chair. So I'm going to start with a fun one. So this disc is fun. I'm detecting drop frames tonight. We'll see how this goes.
We are 5 years away from entering the 21st century. Humankind stands on the edge of the interactive age. You have come a long way. But are you ready for the future?
Introducing Sega Saturn. Aww, hit it! Sega's next-generation gaming platform, revolutionary sports and arcade gameplay, all with amazing new 3D experiences never before possible on home game systems. Wow.
Sega Saturn.
So y'all see why the Saturn failed?
It's how you play the game.
In America?
Saturn. Go farther than you have ever gone before. Sega Saturn. Play your games in the 21st century and leave the rest of the world behind.
Spleen busting. This is not the promo with the one where the You know, the thing squeezes, and yeah, there's a couple other ones with that same bald floating head man. That bald floating head man does scare me a little bit, but you know, I appreciate him. So this is actually just a video disc. The reason why I popped this in, though, is I actually received this from a good friend. You might know Zelaz. She gave me these couple of demo discs. Two of them were from the Saturn, and another one was from the Dreamcast. This is one of the discs I received from her for the one of the. It was actually one of the LPOs. One of the Let's Play Olympics games. So I am going to go ahead and cut that off, actually. Since it's mostly just demo discs, and I actually have a good Saturn collection. So I pulled a couple things out. I pulled out Shining the Holy Ark of Request. I might actually go ahead and put that in since you're here, Frez, and do that. So we'll go ahead and do that. Also, in this demo disc sleeve, I also have the a Blitz of Salt and Pepper Hits. Little insert CD, so you know that's also good. Little Blitz and Salt and Pepper Hits. It is in the dungeon crawling in the 21st century. I might need to make sure I have a save for it because if I don't think I have one on my Saturn right now. It is really 1995, so I'm going to pop in my cart. And we'll start from there. So let's see. I typically use this for imports, but it's also used for a good other purpose. Give me one moment. There we go. Let's see what I have in there right now. That's Shining Wisdom. Alright, I see what I have on there. Okay, give me 1 second. I have to move a couple things. I'm going to move a couple things over before we begin. File management, the real exciting stuff with the Saturn. In the 21st century. And I don't need this to start this disc, but we should be all right. So I'm using the action replay. An action replay for this. It's a typically a cheat device. It's actually a 4 megabyte cart and a 1 megabyte cart at the same time too. But it's also used to get around region protection.
Sonic software planning.
Since Fresno requested, whatever save file is on here, I don't know which one it is, but you know we're gonna take it. It's Sonic in the 21st century. Wait. Sonic! Hey, June! So, this is a Saturn night. I make it a Saturn... the people voted. I made it a Saturn night. This was actually a request, however, from Fresno here. To play Shining the Holy Ark because Fresno loves dungeon crawlers and wanted to see this again. So I put a save file on here. I don't know what game, I don't know what save file it is, but we'll find out. Oh look, it's a pretty early one. Good. You've never heard of this game? Oh, you're in for a treat. You are in for a treat. Oh, this game is so good. That is not Chorus. That is, what is her name? That is, Melody. Is it Melody or Merity? I forget. Wait, I have a stat. It's Melody. So, June, I'm not sure how familiar you are with, early, 2001 Nintendo Game Boy Advance. If you are familiar with it, you might see a couple other things here. Might be. Alright. Tell you what, I'll do some dungeon crawling. Technically we go to the Forest of Confusion, but I will do Desire of Mine here instead, just to make this a little easier. So, if you're familiar with Golden Sun, this game's style might look a little familiar. That is a Nintendo-published game from 2001, but it was developed by Camelot. Sonic Software Planning is Camelot. They made themselves Camelot a little bit later. They've worked on all the Mario sports games, of course, but they also made RPGs, specifically Shining. And this was one of their later projects. Now this is dungeon crawling. There's actually a map button. I forget which one it is. There it is. Oh, this game is basically Golden Sun aesthetic, though, in every single way. It is, like, if you're there, yeah, it's something. If I can look a little bit here. I was trying to see if I can get a random encounter to occur. Yeah, and really the art style and the whatever they used for their kind of everything here, they did pretty much use the same techniques for Golden Sun. The composer is the same. This is a Motoi Sakuraba soundtrack. This is a... Yeah, we're crawling this dungeon. You actually escaped... This is the first dungeon in the game. You escaped this area. Let's try to see if we can do a... You know what? Let's just go to the forest. Nope, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. I don't know who exactly did the character design, but it's... I'm pretty sure it's the same person who did Golden Sun. It looks like Golden Sun's. Yeah, the models jumping in, everything looks so good. This game looks so good. I will go to the forest area then, because that's all I have on the save file apparently. Because really, they'll go to the forest, they'll go to the castle town. Then next after that is the sewer dungeon, and then after that I think we go to the ninjas. There's a lot. So, if you've played, this is a sequel to Shining in the Darkness for the Genesis. If you've played that game, this game will look pretty much like that. But it is part of the Shining Force series. It's part of the same series as Shining Force. I do too now. of the Genesis Shining, since that was the last one I needed. Boxed. So yeah. There we go. And then you discover this game has the games have an auto map. At least and this game does. I don't know actually if the other one does. I ain't gonna go too far here, but I know Fresno, you wanted to see this one. I actually don't have virtual hide glide. That's one of the ones I don't have. I wish I had virtual hide glide. Now, if I had virtual hide glide, I would absolutely play it because I actually like the original hide glide. I'm one of the only fans of the original hide glide that I've ever met. Back in like a few years ago, in the Socks Make People Sexy forums, we played it together. Back when the original forums were active, not the new ones. We played. John got people together to play that game, and I joined him. Yeah, you didn't play hide glide then, Frez. Why? Yeah, you didn't join us for hide glide. Oh yeah, I don't know any magic. Here, we're gonna do that. Hide glide 1, the NES version of hide glide. There we go. I think I'll just stick around a little bit just to appreciate his cycle. I love it. It's Papyrus. He does have eyebrows. Ooh. Power attack. He's also a very powerful enemy, apparently. Hell Blast, level 1. Uh-oh. Let's just attack here, we'll be alright. Skeleton. More men. I think I've actually gone in a circle since this happened. I do not have the Saturn version of Symphony of the Night. I have the PlayStation version, but I do not have the Saturn. Let's see. Can I give you a choice of what I do have here to do? Because I'm definitely willing to switch. I know you just kind of wanted to see this one real quick. I'm definitely willing to switch out a little bit. That's beautiful. Keep it right there for a second. I've got a couple things picked out, just kind of on hand right now. I've got some Falcom. I do have some Saturn Falcom stuff that are ports of Falcom games, of older ones. I have Knights. I have the Japanese version of Pandemonium. I have Saturn Bomberman. I have an FMV game called Straw. It is the Japanese. This is only a Japanese version. And then I have a few other games here too. I have Brain Dead 13. I have a Stall, Daytona USA, Panzer Dragoon, Sega Rally, and Virtual on right now, right beside me. I do have a few other. I do have some other things as well. I just didn't pull them out because they're either import Japanese RPGs that you really don't want to watch me play until I have that specifically set aside for. Or, and I do have some other stuff. I have most of the working design stuff except for Magic Knight Ray Earth. But I have that in Japanese. So, any of those are good. So those are all good choices. Uh-oh. That was beautiful. Yeah, it is more like an echidna, but you know, it's also on two legs, I think. Based on the graphic here, it's only on two legs. Other thing is that you can find fairies to assist you when you start an encounter. Ooh. Bronze shell. You can kind of look at the menu here. I like this specific style of menu. I love the menu symbols. All the Shining games have menu symbols that look like these, and they're very good. So yeah, you can see different magic, you can see kind of different things. Now, in this game, you'll eventually get 8 party members to use, and you actually can switch between them mid-battle. It's a lot like Golden Sun, actually, in that way. And it's also one of those, this is also one of those stories that's kind of a little bit weird. It's a little bit, this is actually a very odd story. It's a small area of a larger world happening. it acts as its own as an intro to Shining Force 3, in a way. It also starts very, very weird. It starts with the main characters investigating a crash. Is there a retro? Okay, is there a retro channel? Bone Slave. Bone Slave. Well, to explain what we're doing here, we're just doing random, kind of just doing Saturn games that I own. Fresno here requested Shining the Holy Ark since they knew I had it, so I went ahead and popped this one in and see what save file I had on my cart, just to see where it was. Bone Slave. I'm just going to attack and see what happens. Yeah, the actual sound effects here too. This game is good. This game is good. I like this game a lot. You know what the skeleton reminds me of though? I don't have Mr. Bones, and that is sad. I do not have Mr. Bones on Saturn. Ooh. Oh, thanks. Thanks. It depends. It depends on my mood if I'm talking or not. Rhodey, you did that. That's okay. I didn't kill you. That was my fault. Very good. Now, I always forget to use those fairies because they can be used to start encounters. Like that. "12 CRTs. Oh, hey, shoot. I didn't realize that they revive after battle. Shoot. What the heck? I'm forgetting everything. A lot of movies at once. Now the question is, what is she watching them on? What is she watching them with? Because there's VHS, of course, but if we're going with a good CRT, I'm using the Laserdisc. VHS, of course. Okay. Or VCR stat. So, tell me I have to have a, next game I make, characters have to have a VCR stat and a CRT stat. I'll try to remember that. Ooh, power attack. Okay. Ooh. Right now I'm stuck playing Shining the Holy Ark. This is what happens. Oh, you're welcome. I was the other option was me playing more Memories of Celceta. I reached the next main dungeon after what I played last time, and I was gonna stop there to maybe stream that next if I wanted to. I love Memories of Celceta. I don't know. That game has kind of a little bit of a tepid response to most people who play Ys, who played the series. It's liked, but it's not like their favorites. I really like it for some reason, though. It is a shorter... I think it's shorter than E7 was. Because you said you played E7, right, June? You like it more than 7? I think I feel the same way. Ooh, hey. Did I discover a fairy? I did. Daisy. There we go. Now we can cycle our fairy types. Well, shoot. There we go. Well, I think for the most part, we've done some dungeon crawling, Frez. How do you feel about that? I think I can show a couple more things. I can show a couple more Saturn things off randomly. The dungeon was sufficiently crawled. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the dungeon. I'll go ahead and make a save. We'll go to town and we'll look at that real quick. We can also enter the houses, and the houses are just you standing in one place and looking around. I think it's actually quite good. Yeah, there's the talking sound effects. Golden Sun does the same thing, and do that. And I did a similar thing in Silas, where I did the text crawl, the text crawl noise. I kind of like it actually. I think it's charming. Oh, hey, there's those two. Those two are later party members. Like that guy. There we go. So yeah, if you're familiar with any of the typical Golden Sun stuff, things like that, this game is very kind of a proto-Golden Sun in a way. Along with the PS1 game Beyond the Beyond. That game is also very proto-Golden Sun. That's another Sonic Software Planning Camelot game. That's when they were Camelot. Also, God's name is Zod. That's just, you know... We'll ignore that. I'll just drop that save there, and I'll keep that around. I'm that person who does say no and lets it go to the title screen.
Sonic. Software planning.
So I am going to switch games here, and I think what I'm going to do here, we'll do that. I'll stick with the North American games here, and I'm going to do probably my favorite game of the Saturn. So I started collecting the Saturn back in high school. That was around 2005 or so. Actually, I got the Saturn at a garage sale for like $13, complete in the box. This is that same Saturn that I got back in like 2003 or so. However, finding games for the Saturn was always tough. It is one of my favorite systems to collect for, but it's a hard system to collect for these days. Mostly finding copies of Saturn games at all, let alone in good condition. Like this game I played in high school for the first time, but I didn't play it until I borrowed it from my Spanish teacher, who happened to still have a Saturn. This is Nights into Dreams. I play this game every so often. Every few years or so I have to replay because I keep forgetting to put the save back on my cart that I keep save files on. Whenever I replace the battery for the Saturn. So, like, oops, I have to replay Nights. Whatever will I do? Let's see. I'll just do that. If anyone's ever played Nights, have they? I don't know anybody who's familiar with Nights, the actual best Sonic Team game. I'm playing with a D-pad, so we'll see how this goes. I do have the 3D Saturn controller somewhere, but I don't have it on me at the moment. I should have grabbed it. Oh well. There we go. Never played it. Okay. So this is a score attack game in a way. Our goal is to get to the end of... to collect 20 orbs. 20 blue orbs. Get to that thing over there. In a certain amount of time. We're trying to score as much as possible. Score as many points as possible. There we go, now we're in bonus time. We get back to the entrance. If I can do that. I'm going for anything too big here. I'm just gonna do... The scoring is actually quite strict in this game. If, what you need to do in each level, to unlock the final level, you need to have a C average in every level. At least. And the scoring is quite strict. Let's see. Anything down here? Never play. I know there's a version on Steam for Nights. It'll probably look different than this version, but my problem is if Nights looks too clean, it doesn't look right to me. It has to look like it has to look like this for me to really like it. I have the Wii game. I've actually not touched it. I bought it for $2 and I still have not played it. I'm too scared to play it. loops I can get. Alright, it's only count my one. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. Hatch my sea life. My sea life file, which is what the Chows became in Sonic Adventure. What became the Chows? Hey, it's Dances with the Woos. Hello. It's Jetstorm4, and we're playing Saturn games. Why are we playing Saturn games? Because I felt like it, really. We actually do want to get that time. We want to avoid that time going down. I'm taking too much time. Let's do this. We don't want that to go to 0. That's basically... We don't want that to hit! There we go. That's a D. That was bad. That was me taking too much time. It is just a side-scroller. This is just 2D. No, this is just a. This is just 2D movement. It helps. It does help that this is only 2D movement. If this were anything else, it would be a little too complicated. I think it'd be a little too complicated. You're right. It's a little disorienting at first, but once you've played it a few times, you'll see what this game is doing. That was alright. Now it's the multiplier. After every level, there's a boss. And we'll see what boss it gives me. Oh, it's giving me the dragon. Okay. There we go. Our goal is to basically beat the boss in a certain amount of time. Or, the faster we beat the boss, the higher our multiplier will be. Oh yeah, this game is so good looking. I love how this game looks. They're making you inspired? Good. Good. Sometimes older work can just do it, especially that existed in a weird space like the Saturn. The Saturn's such a weird space, and there's a lot of cool stuff on this system. There we go. Oh, is that really all I got? That's okay. I already have a C in it, so it's fine. It was that third round is what hurt. Getting a D on that one definitely hurt. It's basically just score, and it's doing it fast is basically the way to do it. Let's see. And it depends on what boss you get too, because the once you start doing different just replaying stages, the game will actually pick random bosses for you. Except for the final, that's always Twin Seeds. The final boss is always in Twin Seeds. Like in this file, I typically do Claris first, Elliot second, but I did Elliot first. This, so I wouldn't have all those. Let's see. What's another? If I can do one real quick. I would show off Twin Seeds, but that's like the best level in the game. Like that's one of my favorite levels like ever. What the hell? I'll do Twin Seeds. Twin Seeds is fun. It's kind of the culmination of this game's story, of this game's kind of narrative, and it's its own thing. I love this stage. Tell you what, we're gonna do it. This is the only stage that's a little bit different. There is no. We only have 180 seconds to do this stage. So, once it starts, I ain't gonna do it right now. I'm just gonna do 3D movement. It's all fun. All right, let's start. This stage is so good. Let's see. What am I missing? Okay, here. There we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, the reason why is actually just this stage. It's how the stage is. In this stage, Knights is sealed and cannot be released. So it's not Claire. It's not Claire's fault. It's not Elliot's fault. It's just Claire's. He does get it too. Oh, shoot, I'm missing an orb. It's that one. I can do this. I typically don't play with the D-pad. I play this game with the other controller. I can't. Really. There we go. There we go, we're good. I'm not gonna make it. I can tell I'm not gonna make it. Yeah, I ain't gonna make this. That's alright. Yeah, I ain't gonna make that. It's plain turning like all good flight games. Yep, it does. That is actually a very hard stage in the game, and especially if I'm out of practice, like I am right now. I need my 3D controller. That's what I need. But I think because it's 7:30, I will go ahead and switch games here to something else. I think I still will keep with the American theme. With the North American theme here. I will play something fun. Let's see. There we go. Here's a game I'm actually bad at. It doesn't matter. There's no excuse. I'm just bad at this game. But you don't need to be good at this game to have fun with it. We saw my wave race skill before, and that's the best skill. But this is the on the other end of the arcade racer type game. Is this? I'm just gonna let this speak for itself. Can't resist. Sorry. Oh, it's so good. Now, this game...
Select a race course. Beginner. Please choose manual or automatic transmission. Manual.
Probably, yeah. It's probably like just a couple of samples. It's very good. This whole game is... This game's sound design is great. And this is the Saturn version. This is the first Saturn version.
3, 2, 1, go! They're on your way.
Now, how bad am I at Daytona? Very bad. But it's very, very fun.
Are you all right?
It's a May-May. So I just know the song from Daytona, from Daytona in general. It's Rolling Start, just how I know it. Great, your time has been extended. Try to go easy on the car. You'd think driving in circles would not actually be fun, but no, this is a,
Are you all right?
a lot of them meme mashup. Okay. I need to switch my gears. Hold on. How do I do that? See, I remember how to play this game, but you know. Are you alright? I am fine. I am perfectly fine. We are in here. No, by the way, whenever you do flip the car, it does not actually get back on the road like that. I know that from experience.
You placed 35th.
Best song. E-R-G-A-M-E-O-V-E-R. Game over, game over, game over, game over. I'm sorry. I love this game. This game's so dumb. I love it.
Please select a race course. Beginner.
I remember how to do my
Please choose manual
switching.
or
Could I use
automatic
automatic?
transmission.
Oh wait, you know what? It's the up and down button. That's what it is.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
The Game Over song is my absolute jam. Like, it's one of my favorites. Excelon? Let's try this again.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah, I got it now. Okay. No, I'm good now. I was using different buttons than I needed to. There we go.
You're looking good. Magical heat on the car. Magical heat on the car.
There we go.
Magical heat on the car.
See, there we go. You drive sideways, right? That's how you drive.
You're looking good.
Now we're doing Saturn version, so we're actually not timed here exactly. We're just doing rank.
Magical heat on the car. Magical heat on the car. Magical heat on the car.
Right. If you're not constantly drifting, you know,
Looking good.
really, that's true driving right there.
Magical heat on the car.
It's like Mario Kart. If you're not constantly drifting, what's the point? Oh,
Are you all right?
the underside of the car is my favorite, personally. If you're not in the grass and, you know, upside down, you're really driving. Actually, never mind.
You're looking good.
I'm being lapped.
You can take.
Oh, it's beautiful though, isn't it?
You placed 31st.
A-M-E-O-V-E-R-G-A-M-E-O-V-E-R. Game over, game over, game over, game over.
Now list your name with the other champions.
This song is beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see. If I'm gonna keep the racing theme, there is another racing game on Saturn that I'm better at. Kind of. Or, actually, a better idea. We could watch giant robots attack each other. You know what? I think I'm good with that. Let's do giant robots. I think I'll... Let's do giant robots. I'll keep it North American games that I have, and we'll do this one. Now, if you want something that is like 100% the good stuff, here you go. A few months ago, I actually did. I was working through this one, and I got to the very end, and that final boss of this game is just so hard. The final fight in this arcade mode is so hard. It might be impossible.
Select your machine.
Alright. It's time for good stuff. There you go. This is Virtual On. This is a... this is loved by a lot of people.
Get ready.
I remember how to fight. Okay, here we go. Mobile Suit goddamn is right. Now the proper way to play this game is with a stick. Yeah, this is good. War is bad.
Round 2. Get ready.
So, we got our stuff, you know, we can boot, you know, we can... I mean, they're cool robots, let's be real. I like the orange one. The orange one is my favorite. Orange is my favorite color, so, you know, I was at least able to decide that the orange one was my favorite. After much deliberation.
Round 1. Get ready.
Also, I had heard traction in this game before, but I did not know what game it was from until I finally played this. Like, oh shoot, this is okay. Yeah, this soundtrack's great. I mean, it's probably better than RoboPit, but RoboPit also has some more customization. So, you know, take what you will. I think it's a replay. So this is a one-on-one fighting game. If you do have a second player, you can do two-player virtual on. And the arcade cabinet of this game is cool because it was it's one of those ones where you sit in the cockpit to play. You've got nice, good joysticks to use with triggers, which is the real way to play video games, is to sit in a cockpit. If you're not sitting in a cockpit with a video game, what's the point? Oh. Ooh. These start getting harder very fast, by the way. So I think the next one's the I forget which mech it's called, but it's the green one. I think. Don't fire shots into the air. That's not good. Don't do that. Yeah, this thing, that hammer is really, really annoying. I remember being stuck on this one.
Round 1.
A lot.
Get ready.
This song's real good though. Right, of course. It's the only real way to play video games, is to sit in a cockpit and with your large, everything. that thing is bad. I mean, actually, it's pretty cool. You know what? This game is on the Dreamcast as well. You can probably use that arcade stick.
Get ready.
That good arcade stick that I don't have. See, the giant robots, with the robots, the best thing you have to do, you have to do that spread. You have to do that spread shot of missiles.
Round 3. Get ready.
The bazooka is very good. That's our primary weapon. To use. It requires a less amount of charge. Besides the D-bomb, of course, which is more of a bomb. Everyone has like a bomb of some kind, a massive weapon of some kind, which is a laser in our case, and then the bazooka is our other weapon elsewhere. They're all very similar. They do have their own little differences, like that hammer is different. About Ace Combat 2. I'm not familiar with the Ace Combat games at all. And the vibe is similar. Okay. That's cool. No, that is actually really cool.
Round 1. Get ready.
Whenever you jump, it does actually change your camera as well. We should probably try an Ace Combat at some point. To see what one of those are like. Don't fire into the air like that. You don't know what you're gonna hit.
Round 2. Get ready.
Right. That's the only way to fight, really, giant robots in the countryside.
Round 3. Get ready.
I might not have this, that's alright. Nope. There it goes. So there it goes. Oh well. We can watch the little people though. I love the little faceless people. It's great. So let's switch to one more. And I think I'll end it on that. So for this one, unless there's any other quick thing, I think I'm going to switch to... Where is it? There we go. One more game that I think I do want to actually play more of on stream at some point. Oh, Polly is live? That is probably actually good timing, so I might go ahead and end it here. You know what I will end it on? I'll end it back on the demo disc that I started the whole thing with, and to scare everybody again with the floating bald man. That's always a good way to do it, right? So just to give it just one last go, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it back to my favorite man, and the man who scares me. Fresno already knows, because Fresno was here. Just to show it, I got this from a friend also of, I got this from Zella. She gave this to me. Just ready.
We are 5 years away from entering the 21st century. Humankind stands on the edge of the interactive age. You have come a long way. But are you ready for the future?
Introducing Sega Saturn. Aw, hit it. Sega's next-generation gaming platform, revolutionary sports and arcade gameplay, all with amazing new 3D experiences never before possible on home game systems. Wow.
Sega Saturn. It's how you play the game.
I don't like Craig Stadler's blurred out right there.
Go farther than you have ever gone before. Sega Saturn. Play your games in the 21st century and leave the rest of the world behind.
I wish it was too. Like, nothing can be that good. Nothing can be this good anymore. Nothing can be this embarrassingly, like, hilarious anymore, and it's kind of sad. This disc is a little wonky, but that's okay. Yeah, I wish it was like that too. I think that's the best way to probably end this. As to where I got those discs, you can blame Zelos for that. Blame her. She gave those to me after one of the Socks Make People Sexy Let's Play Olympics competitions. This was my prize. And I would not have it any other way. Along with this other demo disc that I have too. It's quite beautiful. So since Polly's live, I'm going to go ahead and cut myself off here. And I'm going over there to do more Higurashi. Because, holy crap. That's going to hurt me, isn't it? I can already tell. So thank you very much for joining me for Sega Saturn Night. I will see you there. We'll probably do this again. I'll do Sega Saturn Night again. I have too much stuff on Saturn to not show off and to have fun with. So yep, I will see y'all some other time.